My name is Richard Wengle. I'm the principal of Richard Wengle Architect, Inc. I've been an architect since 1983, and I've had my own firm since 1992. When we first started on the Isabella project, we wanted the building to have a bespoke quality, one of luxury. And very early in the conversation, New York came up. And we said, we really want this to feel like a New York building. They're elegant, they're very friendly at the pedestrian scale, they're identifiable, but they have a warmth to them. It's not a cold, frosty building. It's actually a building that people would be familiar with. And I think we hit it out of the park. It will set a whole new standard for future development in the Waterloo area. The way I like to approach my work as an architect is I want to put myself into the feet and the minds of the people that are going to use the ultimate finished project. At the Isabella, the clientele would be much more sophisticated. They will appreciate this type of architecture. They will expect it. They're going to want beautiful balconies. They're going to want terraces where they can expand their outdoor living. And so we put everything into this to make sure that we would have a building that has no competition. The Isabella project really resonates with me because we are able to create something that will contribute to the streetscape first and foremost. It will be a beautiful building silhouette. It has wonderful massing and movement in it, but most importantly, it's how it touches the ground and what will be the pedestrian experience coming up to it. Often a building will just try to grab as much square footage as it can at the ground. We've purposely created an arcaded component to provide shelter, like cities like Barcelona, but it also creates a little bit of a recess from the street, a little bit of security, a warmth, a bit of generous sidewalk. And then building up from there, the building becomes a sculptural element where at the top of the building, there's some wonderful terraces and sculptural shapes that I think give the building an identifiable edifice. We based our design on a pre-war style, which would happen before the 30s, the late 30s. Very prevalent in New York. You'll see it in Madrid, you'll see it in London, Buenos Aires, and it's based on a style called Beaux-Arts. And what's nice about it is there's a formality, there's a simplicity. It's not embellished with too much ornamentation, but there's a sculpting of form in these buildings that makes it very attractive. What I love about the building, as a taller building, is that it has a very prominent two-story base with arched windows, and you'll see that a lot on major European streets. So just having our recessed entrance that creates shelter and security from the street created a wonderful base with a simplified cornice. We have our mass of our building that then starts to ascend, and then as it goes higher, it terraces back. And then you'll see at the top of the building, what's wonderful is that we've created these crescent-shaped recesses that give the building its own unique identity. Balconies are always important. Many buildings don't provide them. We think people would like to be outside, be able to dine. So we've created very large balconies. They're nice because you can actually have a sitting area, a barbecue area, but they're recessed, so they have some privacy, and yet you have views on all corners. There's lots of light in there, there's room for lanterns, but they almost provide a little bit of a cocoon. It can be raining, and they can be there and still enjoy the outdoors. One thing about the Isabella is that even though it's a large stone building, we have very large openings. One of the problems in a lot of the glass condominiums is that even though they're very bright, what ends up happening is people pull down their blinds. There's no privacy, and it's too bright. We made sure that all of our windows are very, very large, so we'll get light. We'll have room for drapery if people want, but we also have room for art on the wall. That's something that's often forgotten in these designs because of just simplicity of having a glass skin. There's no internal walls for art, and so we've purposely created large punched windows that'll bring lots of light, create great views, but there's room for art, and yet they'll still get the view and all the light that you would normally expect from a high quality building. The upper level units are very special in that they have higher ceilings, they have very large terraces that surround them. And I think that's one of the things that we'll see in New York a lot are these step back buildings, and that's what we really wanted to try to recapture in this building. So I think what will be wonderful for the occupants of the higher levels are all of these tremendous outdoor terraces where they'll have these fabulous views of the city, of the small lake. You're going to capture those and enjoy them, and I think that's very special. The building will exude warmth and comfort. The benefit of that is that its quality changes in the light. When there's a sunset, the gold reflects and absorbs, and you actually have a very nice warmth, especially in the the winter and fall, I think the building will have this almost romantic feel because of it. And then to accent that, we are working with dark bronze windows using polished granite that offers that sense of historical context and solidity to it. And it gives it just, again, a very minimal palette, but the building will exude warmth and comfort. And I think that's what's going to make it very identifiable. With the Isabella, on the exterior, I have two components that I really feel that excite me, but I think will contribute mostly to the building. The first is the arcade at the bottom, and the entrance will be a wonderful addition to the streetscape. And then at the top, the scooped or scalloped sections of the building that step back, that really create something that you'll never see a building really in this area that has that in Toronto or in Waterloo. The feedback that we've received has been unbelievable. People come in, they'll say, "Where is that building?" And I said, "That's going to be in Waterloo." They said, "Waterloo, we can't believe it." I said, "Well, Waterloo wants something like this, and I think it's probably one of our best projects to date that we've come up with, and I'm very proud of this one."